Thousands of mourners attended the Jerusalem funeral for an Auschwitz survivor and leading ultra-Orthodox rabbi. Rabbi Menachem Mendel Taub died at the age of 96. He made it his life's mission to campaign for Holocaust education and commemoration, especially in the insular ultra-Orthodox community. The rabbi was also a victim in Auschwitz of cruel and horrific chemical experiments performed by Dr. Joseph Mengele. Prime Minister Netanyahu himself yesterday expressed his deep sorrow over the rabbi's passing. With me now is Rabbi Shlomo Köves. Rabbi Köves is in Budapest, Hungary. Thank you so much for being with us. I want to ask, in your mind, what is Rabbi Taub's legacy when it comes to Holocaust remembrance within the Hasidic community in Israel and really around the world?
First of all, as a rabbi, as myself, leading a community in Hungary and a grandson of 4 Hungarian survivors, for me, Rabbi Taub always has been a great role model, somebody to look up to. I was 13 years old at first when I met him, when I went with a bar mitzvah trip to Israel from Hungary, and they took us to Bnei Brak in Israel, where I heard him sing the Hungarian folk song, the Solaka Kashmar, which is a Hungarian folk song that was turned into a Jewish song by Rabbi Taub's great-grandfather, a song that speaks about the yearning, and it means in the Hasidic legacy, yearning for the Messiah, yearning for a better world. And I can tell you 5 years ago actually, when it was the 70th year of commemorating the Hungarian Holocaust in 2014, Rabbi Taub was our guest here together with 400 other rabbis from all over Europe and the world, together with the 2 chief rabbis of Israel. And I had a brief conversation with him, which that in itself was a great honor. And he told me one thing that I want to be my legacies, that people shouldn't think of the Jews that were killed in the Holocaust as inactive victims that were taken to slaughter as sheep. There were people with honor, there were people with Jewish identity that did everything they can in order to keep their human dignity, to guard their own family's life, to keep their Jewish identity. And I think this is what Rabbi Taub symbolizes. He wasn't just a survivor. He was a survivor who put his life to Jewish identity, he put his life of rebuilding Jewish life in his personal sense and also sense of the community. And that's why I think many people that were not Hasidic and not Orthodox and not ultra-Orthodox looked up to him greatly.
Rabbi, even in his later years, I mean, a man in his mid-90s traveling still around the world to speak about his experiences in the Shoah, in the Holocaust, and to press for ongoing education and remembrance. What did that mean to you, to see a man of that stature and even at that advanced age still traveling the world?
It reminded me of another great rabbi, the late Rabbi Schneerson, who was also a great Hasidic rabbi, who was also a survivor and also put his whole life and legacy into teaching and educating faraway communities, and always thought that it's never too late to return to the Jewish roots. Rabbi Taub's legacy, I think, also symbolizes, and he said it many times, that the Nazis, their names should be, Yimach Shmam, as we say, their names should be erased. They wanted to kill the Jewish people physically. But we have to make sure that there's also another danger to the eternal existence of the Jewish people, and that's assimilation. And that's a spiritual danger. And he did everything he can to safeguard not only the physical safety of the Jewish people, but also the spiritual one. And I think it's really motivating to see a person of his kind that went through so much suffering in his early years. He was not even 20 when he was in Auschwitz. And he then put the whole rest of his life, 74 years, not just into mourning, but in rebuilding life. It's really the resurrection of the dead that we see in the prophets, is that people like him on a personal level, on a communal level, were able to dedicate themselves after seeing all that terrible, horrifying stories in the Holocaust and dedicating themselves to rebuilding Jewish life and religious life.
All right,
I think it's a really motivating role model.
All right, Rabbi, thank you so much for being with us live in Budapest. Good to have you on the show. Appreciate your thoughts. More news ahead.